Title: Asylum Showdown. Is Biden's policy just Trump 2.0? TLDR. Federal judge says not today to President Biden's latest asylum policy, hinting it's too close to Trump's old move. Cue major debates. But did the judge get it right? It was a typical Tuesday, till Judge John Tigar pulled a major twist on President Biden's asylum narrative. This federal judge isn't one to play nice when it comes to controversial policies. He's handed out policy slaps before, and this time, it's Biden at the receiving end. Remember the Trump-era asylum policy? You'd think it got packed up with Trump's exit from the White House, right? Wrong. Judge Tigar seems to think Biden's policy smells a little Trump-ish. Is this just déjà vu, or is Biden trying a remix of an old hit? The major ruling against Biden's administration has ripple effects. The border between US and Mexico, already a hot topic, just got hotter. Since the asylum policy's debut, border crossings took a nosedive. Now, with a legal wrench in the mix, things might be changing up. Does this mean the border will become the Wild West again? Administration peeps are giving the "we're different than Trump" defense, but many aren't buying it. And the Justice Department? They're gearing up for round 2, the appeal. But seriously, if they're so different, why does it seem so similar? This legal tango began when the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, and a posse of immigrant rights groups were like, hold up, this new rule is fishy. The rule mainly turns away migrants who traveled through another country to seek asylum in the US. For decades, that wasn't the norm. Change is good, but is this change too much? Even some of Biden's buddies weren't fans. They felt the new policy might have been a political oops, did I do that moment. They've been quite vocal with their, come on, man. You can do better. Migration has always been a game of numbers and politics. Data from the US Border Patrol showed a dip in migrant arrests in June. But is it all because of the asylum policy or other factors? And the burning question, is Biden's approach, deportation and sterner penalties, really working or just another short-term patch-up? Here's a twist. The Biden crew believes they're doing good, pointing at stats like the decrease in border crossings after ending the pandemic policy, Title 42. Meanwhile, a tidal wave of migrants from countries like Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua are making their voices heard. The US can't just send them back due to, well, diplomacy being a tricky business. Judge Tigar took a magnifying glass to Biden's policy and concluded that many seeking asylum aren't really given a fair shot, especially if they're not from specific countries. He also threw some legal shade, suggesting the government might have skipped some steps in rolling out this policy. Oh, someone didn't do their homework. Now, to the big question, with this ruling, are we finally seeing justice, or just another round in the never-ending game of political ping-pong? Is Biden's policy genuinely in the spirit of America, that shining beacon of freedom and hope, or just another way to push people around? And, more importantly, what does the future hold for those desperately seeking the American dream?